Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode number 50 on the Super M. It's hard to believe we've gone that far, that many episodes, but we've done it. Now the goal of this one is to pretty much get all the painting completed. So this is probably going to take, 2 or 3 days to make again. This is Friday. I had the day off of work today. If you watch all my videos, you'll have already seen the 11:13 video where I started off this morning about the time the sun was coming up, getting the starting engine parts up to the machine shop, rocketed back home, and got everything strung out to get primer sprayed on it today. Everything that we had prepped in this last batch, and I think it's pretty much the rest of what we had. So take you on a little tour of today's progress. Got all this hardware sprayed, both sides. And there is the rest of it, also both sides, ready for the red. We have the wheel hub locks. We have a bunch of the seat stuff. There's the spring, more of the seat stuff. Battery box cover, starter, fuel tank is done. Belt pulley is done. Power steering pump is done. Down here in the dark we have the swing plate for the drawbar. Hood got done. Everything on the clothesline rack and hanging up here got done. The grill got done. And down here, the wheel hubs and the 2 wheel weights I had in bare metal also got coated today. And we pretty much used all of our primer down to the last drop today. We had a little bit left in the bottom of that gallon can, so Senior got out those cast iron stands that, well, we wasted the last of the very first batch of primer on the one before we ran out. Well, he got both of them out here, and I was able to just use up the rest of that stuff on those 2 pieces. And again, over here in the dark, these are the 2 Row Foundry aftermarket wheel weights that I'm going to put on my Farmall H. We got those covered on both sides before we ran out of primer, so we did get all of that stuff used up. We don't have any partial cans laying around that are just going to dry up and go bad anyway. So pretty much everything we did here, plus those few extra pieces, this entire tractor we got by with right on a gallon of that red primer, so that's not bad at all. So tomorrow, Saturday, we're also supposed to have nice weather. We're going to start spraying the red. Now, I don't know that we're going to get all the red sprayed tomorrow on everything that we have in primer today. We're going to have to take our time on the sheet metal, like the tank, the hood, the grill. I'm also going to take my time on the fenders and probably also that little toolbox that goes up there and the battery box that goes underneath the seat. You want that stuff to turn out pretty good. You don't want to have any light coverage on that. And that usually takes a little bit more paint when you're doing the red than it does for primer. We had about 4 paint cups worth of primer that we sprayed today to get all this stuff done. We figure we have about 5 paint cups full of the red left, maybe 6. I think we're going to come out just fine on the red, maybe with just a touch left over, but we're just going to have to get into it tomorrow and see how far that stuff's going to go. And there are a few more pieces that we did not prime today that we're going to have to scuff down and at least get our brand of red put on, like this new drawbar that just showed up today. They already had a pretty decent coating of red on here. It doesn't quite match the shade that we're spraying, so I'll scuff this down. We'll put a quick coat over the top of that so it matches. We have a few other minor replacement new pieces like this that I'm also going to have to do that to, above and beyond the volume of surface area that we primed today. So that's why I'm thinking the red that we have might just take us to where we need to be. We're gonna have to get into it tomorrow and see what happens. But yeah, I decided to get this new drawbar because the M's drawbar was so worn out. This tractor, I'm pretty sure, spent its whole life pulling because they had been building up the main pivot pin hole up here with some weld. That thing had really worn loose, and then back here where it was always swinging on the drawbar, that really got worn in, as well as where the stop pins were contacting it, and back here from a lot of, I think, hay racks and implements and everything else. It not only wore the end hole out here a little bit, but it took a lot of material off that thing. It really took a lot off the top from tongue weights. So I'm to the point I got to get this thing done. It was almost a cheaper way out when you consider the currency of time to get a new drawbar rather than try and fix this one up, and I think I trust a new one a little bit more anyway. So like I said, we got a few pieces like that we're also gonna have to spray tomorrow. We'll see how far that red goes. Talk to you again then. break in the action. Painting today, of course. I just finished paint batch number 1. I got the first wheel center done. Kind of finished up on that power steering pump pulley. Got both of the wheel clamp locks done, and I got pretty much the lion's share of the hardware. And those 3 boards too, done. So that's about how far I estimated I'd probably go on the first batch. Seniors mix in batch number 2, and we'll see how far that takes us.
And our second wheel hub. So far our barrel and leg setup's working pretty doggone good. So gotta get her done. I don't know if you guys can notice, we're getting a little leaf color out here this fall. So I think we're gonna, if everything goes right, we should finish our painting today.
Okay, another break in the action. I think we're on paint batch number 4 right now, so we've got both of the wheel centers done. 1 wheel weight. We got the grill done over there. I'll walk over and show you. Right there. Pretty happy with how that turned out. And I also got the hood done. Hit it back here where nothing can fall on it. So I think I'm going to start. We'll do fuel tank next. And I'd like to move into fenders, and then we'll see where it takes us after that. All right, we're getting down on it. All the wheel weights are done. Take you over here to the table. Both the clamshell fenders are done, both sides, and the fuel tank's done. Pretty happy with how that turned out. Looking good so far, so we're down to just little stuff now. We're done moving stuff with the tractor.
Left in there.
Not much left in there after that.
No.
So we've done a full 5 batches. Senior's mixing, you're doing about a half batch here, right?
Yeah.
And you got a little bit left in the can.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna come out just about perfect for touch-up. Another break in the action here. We've been spraying for 4 hours, and I just finally ran the paint gun out again. I think we're gonna have enough to do it. Here's what we got left. We have everything that's on the clothesline here, just some miscellaneous. Steering shaft, we have that power steering pump. And in here, we have the carburetor left to do. We have this forward steering shaft. We have this long skinny choke rod. And last thing over here is the belt pulley. Otherwise, everything else has been done. Oh man, we've put down a lot of paint. All the seat stuff is done. Grill, all the wheel weights, the hubs, most of everything hanging on these clotheslines. Seat, the new drawbar, the battery box. Oh my gosh, we've covered a lot of pieces in paint today. I'm starting to get kind of tired, getting the blurry eyes, but I think that last half a batch is going to more than take us through. And if I need to burn a little bit extra, way over there we have those 2 wheel weights I'm going to put on my H in case we need to expend the rest of that batch on something. Man, I think we're going to do it today. Well, we did it. We got it done. We sprayed paint for 5 hours today, and we mixed about 5.5 paint cups, 5.5 batches, and ran through that gun. And we just about ran out of paint, but we've got just enough left for touch-up. We couldn't have planned it any better. I'll just show you everything we did. All the wheel weights, wheel hubs, that's all done. We got all these little miscellaneous hanging items, power steering pulley, seat bracket part, fender extensions down there. The new drawbar is done, the battery box is done, seat pan is done, steering wheel's done. All of the stuff hanging on the clotheslines here, including carburetor. Steering shafts are done, long skinny choke rod, it's done. Of course, we have the grill, the power steering pump below that. Get over here on this table, seat parts, drawbar, swing plate, seat part, battery box, top cover. We have the toolbox, fuel tank, which turned out awesome. I'm liking that. Spring for the seat, more seat parts, both of the fenders, main pivot bracket for drawbar, wheel locks. Down this side, starter, belt pulley, all of the hardware. There's that grill insert and the hood. We ran out of paint just before I got to those 2 wheel weights that I was going to put on my H. That's fine. I wasn't going to have enough mixed in the cup to do both sides of those anyway, let alone probably both sides of a single weight. So, and of all the paint we had, this is all we have left. These 4 little jars, that is all of the International red paint we have left. It turns out we put 5 quarts of paint on this tractor. I bought that initial gallon, and then last time I was up at the store, I bought another quart just to be sure we had enough, and I'm glad I did it because without that we wouldn't have made it. So couldn't have planned it any better. 5 quarts of paint with a little left for touch-up. Man, that's perfect. And I got to thank Senior for everything he does when we do this paint and stuff. I mean, he doesn't spray the paint. I'm the one that sprays it. And that's kind of why 4th of July weekend, it looked like he was getting pretty close on that engine. So I bailed onto this rear end. I rehabbed a lot of that. He finished up the engine. He helped me with rehab on the rest of the rear end. And together we got this thing scuffed down, prepped, and we got it painted. Basically, this is the day I've been waiting, or I've been working for ever since 4th of July weekend. And man, am I glad this is done. I'm completely wiped out. He's tired. But I tell you what, he keeps the paint cup full for me. He's always bringing out parts and carrying painted ones back in, or going to get sawhorses, or going to get another plank or a board, or cleaning the mixing stuff. And every step of the way, man, when we start painting, both of us are moving steady from the time we start mixing paint to the time we got everything cleaned up. And we're pretty much both wiped out and ready to be done for the night. I know this is the last thing I'm doing. I'm going to go kick my feet up. Probably watch me an old rerun of Combat. I think that's on tonight. Yeah, buddy. So, thanks for watching, everybody. We got the entire M in paint. Few little pieces left to go, but we don't need the major painting equipment for that. So all that stuff, the hood, the gun, everything's getting put away. And it's all gravy from here on out. So I'll probably be jumping back off of this project and going back on other things like 1113, getting stuff ready for winter as well. I'll still get in on some of the reassembly here, but for the most part, this is back to being Senior's project again. So thanks for watching, everybody. We both appreciate it. Please tune in again.